What's up, guys? Jason up, New 80s Revolution, down here in the cave for another episode of the TN80sR half-hour power hour. That's right, where we bring you into the show through Q&A format. Tonight, however, very, very special episode. Nothing like the Different Strokes very special episode. This episode tonight is going to address a question that 5 of you have asked. The question is, what does Mrs. New 80s Revolution feel about the collection, about the obsession? Well, tonight we answer that question, and no, it is not me answering the question. Tonight we invite the one and only Mrs. New 80s Revolution onto the show to talk about life with an 80s guy, life with an 80s toy collector, life with an obsessed 80s fan, the guy that tried to buy my childhood home and raise my family in that tiny little home. That's right. We do it all tonight, and it all got started. I said 5 of you have asked the question, but it all started with my man Alex, Hungarian guy on YouTube. That's right. You've seen him in the comments as Hungarian guy. But Alex started this off with the following question. He says, "I would like to know, what does your wife think about the collection? Did the collection start before or after you met her? How does she feel about you having the basement? I ask because I started a collection myself because of your show. And I was lucky, and my parents kept a lot of my toys and video games. Space, however, is already becoming an issue because my girlfriend, who I live with, isn't happy about the lost space. And it may stop my collecting." Yeah, it may stop my collecting. And that's why we have to save Hungarian guy. The lack of space with he and his girlfriend in their place where they live is possibly going to lead to him stopping the greatest collection on earth, the 80s toys. So we've got to step in. We've got to prevent that from happening. And maybe Hungarian guy's girlfriend needs to hear from somebody who's been dealing with this for 20 years. And that's going to happen tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on TN80sR half-hour power hour.
It's the New 80s Revolution with Jason Nupp, a one-and-all show full of fun where anything can and does happen. Pickups, fan mail, toy reviews, camping with the New 80s Revolution Jr. Whatever the heck else does not fit into a specific category, Jason covers it right here, folks. And now, the host of the New 80s Revolution, Jason Nupp.
Wow, we're back, and this is awkward. This is strange for me. I'm sharing the cave. I'm sharing the table. I'm sharing the camera with somebody who is
sharing the spotlight.
But I don't like to do. I'm sharing the spotlight with somebody who has literally never been down here before. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. New 80s Revolution.
Well, on camera.
Oh, you've been down here before. Yeah. You've given me a beer in one of the episodes. Say hello to the people out there.
Hello?
How do you feel about being a part of the greatest YouTube show in the history of YouTube? You are now on the show. All the people are watching you. At least 385 people are watching you right now. How do you feel about that?
A little awkward. I'm not going to think about that part, but yeah, a little weird.
Okay.
I like to be behind the scenes, buying stuff, and that's it. Okay,
so the reason you are down here, other than to drink, here's your... See, the only way that I can get her to do some things is to provide 99-cent airplane bottles of booze. That's right. After a few of these, we're loosened up. We got sweatshirts on.
It's freezing.
You know what that means. And we're down here to talk about toys. My love for toys and your journey on the 80s train. So before that, Let's kick open. We got some mango pineapple Svedka for you. I usually don't buy Svedka. That's cheap vodka.
They have good flavors.
But they're all,
we used to drink it.
they're all 99 cents. So let's kick the show off right. Ooh, can't get that one open. Let's kick the show off right with a dual toast to something I know that you love to toast to, the 80s. There you go. And I just spilled vodka on your bed sheet.
On the bed sheets.
That's right. We do
Yep.
things top shelf here. The tablecloth here on the show's table is of course a bed sheet that you've
Yep.
been wondering where it is lately.
Yep.
It's down here. It's down here. Well, cheers.
Yep.
Ooh, are we gonna make faces? Oh, you
I'll
drank.
try not to. I did half of it.
You drank like
I did half of
a
it.
nibble.
I did half of
That's
it.
a nibble. You'll have more throughout the hour, throughout the half hour. That's right. It's the 80s. TN80sR half hour power hour. That's right. Let's tell them what they have to do first. In order to be on the show, first of all, we have a massive amount of questions still in the hopper. There's probably about 8 episodes worth of questions. But let's get more. So send the questions. If you like the format and the views say you do, send the questions to TN80R questions@gmail.com. That's the email I created. That was very creative. All right, so the reason that you're sitting down here is my friend Hungarian Guy, a very long friend of the channel. He's been around with us for at least 4 years. Hungarian Guy says that he started a collection because of me, which you know I like to hear. And he lives with his girlfriend. And the collection is starting to take over their space.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that she's not thrilled with that, because the last line of the email was, I might have to give up collecting. And so I said, we can't do that. We have to get the take of somebody who's been a part of this for 20 years. So where did this all begin for you? How did this all? Do you remember when we got started with this?
Okay. Earliest memory was when you're living with your grandparents. And I saw your room, and you had like this weird bookcase with shelves, and all the LJNs were lined up. And then you told me the story, your childhood, the history about it, and you had to buy them all back. So it was a very small collection, maybe like 10?
Yeah.
Like 10 of them? I don't even remember what they were.
Yeah.
But I knew a little bit about wrestling because of my dad and my sister. So I kind of got it, and I saw them all lined up and remember the story.
Yeah. So they have heard the story a million times that I sold all of my childhood LJNs around age 22 because Bill and Nick, old friends of mine from back in the day, were going out. And I didn't have a job. So I didn't have any money. And I wanted to go out too. So I sold all of my LJNs for like $250 to a local comic book shop.
So you had all of them.
I didn't have Ultimate Warrior. I never had the white and red shirt Hogan's. I never had I didn't have a lot of Series 5 or Series 6. I had the Hard Foundation, and that was a high ticket item at the time. But I definitely had more than $250 worth. And I sold it all to a comic book shop, and they gave me $250 so I could go out that night. And that was it. That was the end.
Impulsive.
That was pretty impulsive, but that was the end of the collecting. I sold off my childhood for some beers, and then like at age 22, like a year before I met you, I started buying them back. But I wasn't buying them back myself. I had this friend who was older than me and more established, like he was living with a girl. And he had a credit card, and he had PayPal, and so I'd go over his house, and we would buy like an LJN like once a week, and they could be in any condition. It didn't matter. These were like on an average of like $10 a figure. This is back in the day when you could get almost everybody for $10, $20, and they'd come in the mail, and I would throw them in a Sterlite tub, And that's what we brought. So when we got our first apartment, what did I have then?
You just had the tub in the closet. It was very, very small apartment. Like,
Yeah.
kitchen was in living room. Like, our little table was half in the kitchen, half in the living room.
Right.
Super, super small. No room for anything except the stuff that we had.
Right. So
You kept it in the closet.
Yeah, I had about 16 really beat up, really filthy, dirty LJNs. And they sat in a tub, and we kept them in the hall closet where our coats were.
I think you would take them out sometimes to play with them, because there is a picture somewhere. You're on the floor with the tub out, playing with the toy.
Right, I might have posed for that because you had a camera. I don't think you caught me playing LJNs in a hallway next to a closet. I think I might have posed for that. So that was the first. So we definitely brought the LJNs to the apartment.
But you had no interest in other toys at that time. Mm-mm. Like, you had nothing. Like, I grew up with, my mom had an attic. All my toys were stored in that. Like, everything I've ever owned was in the attic. You had nothing. You guys moved so much. You had, like, no...
Yeah, they know that. I've moved 45 times, and so everything got lost. In fact, some of your attic is in that shelf there.
There's a lot of my stuff.
Well, they know the plushie shelf, so a lot of the plushies are yours. The Gem doll,
and Kimberly and Barbie
the Gem poster that is around here somewhere.
The Bernstein Bears. Oh wait, no, the kids lost mine.
Yeah, so that was all from your attic. So you didn't know what it was like to have to buy back your childhood. So so the LJNs were the first thing, and then I remember. Do you remember when I started selling on eBay?
I really don't remember. That was so long. I don't remember that.
So that was the next step in the collecting world. I was brand new on eBay, and I started buying and selling a ton, and it was a ton of old toys, and it was mostly wrestling figures, because the market was much better back then, and you could steal lots. Like, I remember stealing a lot for like $39 that had an Ultimate Warrior in it, and we went away that weekend, and the night that we went away, the auction was ending. So I somehow got the internet on the hotel TV, and somehow got into eBay, and saw that the Ultimate Warrior had ended for like $102, and I was over the moon, because I paid like $6 in this lot for it, and sold it. So that's how, like, I started, shopping and noticing things and seeing things. Remember when we did the Kmart thing? Remember the Ted DiBiase $1 million belt from Jack's 2-pack that Kmart had, and it was $9.99, and I sold it for like $30, and it went in like half a second. So I went nuts, and we drove around to every single Kmart in this area, bought up all of that stuff, the thing I hate today when everybody's buying up all the stuff to sell on eBay. Anyway, all right.
I don't remember that.
So, when we were in the apartment, did I start bringing new toys into the house, or was it always just wrestling?
I think towards the end, when we were thinking about getting a house, you had this idea of having like a spare room. So I think you hit up a garage sale.
Yeah.
And you got Cabbage Patches in a box.
Yeah. No, that was that was a flea market.
Or the flea market.
Yeah.
And then you had a Sterlite tub, but because we had no room in the apartment, you stored in my mom's house in the basement.
Yeah.
And that's when you started collecting some of the older toys, like things that you had, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
what you're interested in.
That's what it was going to be. It was things that I had as a kid only. That's what it was going to be. That's what the collection was going to be. If I could remember what I had, I would go back and buy it. So I was at a flea market, and there was
Snoopy snow cone maker.
Yeah, there was the that's what was in the box. So there was a bigger tub that we stored at your mother's that had a boxed Cabbage Patch doll that's right over there, and like an '80s Snoopy snow cone machine in the box.
Which I never had that. I always wanted that.
Yeah, I never had it. Yeah. But didn't I have like no? I had bed bugs. Remember bed bugs?
Bed bugs.
So bed bugs I found at a garage sale for like $1, and that was the beginning of the collection. A boxed Cabbage Patch doll, the bed bugs game, and what was it? Oh, the Snoopy snow cone.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the beginning, because I said those are things that I had or wanted as a kid, and so that's how it all began.
Didn't we try to take it out and
I
try
think
to make
so.
a snow cone?
I think so.
Oh
yeah,
work.
It was really
it just didn't work.
Like
it was like a grater. It was like a cheese grater.
It was a cheese grater. The Snoopy snow cone machine concept is just a fail. I don't know if anybody ever successfully made it. It wasn't even Like they were razor blades.
Yeah. I think that's why our parents never bought it, so we figured it was probably going to
No,
fail.
they didn't know. What they just didn't buy it because they were cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was a successful item. Anyway, then we move into a house. We buy a house, and it's a 3-bedroom house. It's the one we live in today. And at the time, the little nuggets did not exist.
Yeah.
And so I took over the 3rd bedroom. Do you remember what that was like?
You had a smaller room.
I had the smaller room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just wrestling figures at the time.
Yeah, because you put in massive holes in the wall.
Yes,
like
I destroyed
nice, clean
the walls. Yeah.
Which that's like a big pet peeve that he drills holes in the wall, doesn't like it, takes it out. There's like massive holes, and he has a spackle, and it's a bit of a mess.
And because what I did was I hung all of the carded LJNs, probably about 45.
And you're never happy with how it looks. You have to keep on redoing it.
Well,
but there's massive holes.
Yeah, there's holes everywhere, but we're gonna cover them up with toys.
Yeah.
So I had an LJN wall. I had every carded figure on the wall. So when you walked into the room, the entire wall was wallpapered with carded LJNs, and that was one wall. And then on the other wall, I had all of my autograph photos and all the photos. When I did the Paul Orndorff obituary, I told them about meeting him at the restaurant and paying for his dinner with your father, and I can't find that photo, and everybody wants to see the photo of me taking a picture with Paul Orndorff in the restaurant after I bought him dinner.
It's got to be in your drawer.
It's got to be somewhere, but I can't find it. But I really haven't looked, but I don't remember where it is. So I had all of those, and then that was it. It was like Hasbro's.
You had the boxes of DVD. You had these giant
that's
boxes
right. That's right.
Of DVDs. I remember that obsession. The copying the DVDs, or like DVD trades.
Yes, it was a tape
on like
trading.
internet boards, and there's these massive. Where are the boxes?
Back in the sump pump room.
They were massive boxes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you told a story about our dog at the time.
No, I haven't told the story about the dog.
And I don't know why we used to keep the door open.
Yeah.
But you had the case flipped open, and when we were at work one day, the dog peed all over the DVDs, like soaked through the paper envelopes, just everywhere.
Yeah,
he just peed everywhere because he was bored during the day.
Yeah, that was the worst day.
Yeah, that was pretty bad when we got home.
Yeah, the dog peed all over the DVDs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had big DJ, like
industrial size.
Yeah, industrial commercial grade DJ cases where they would carry all their CDs. So these things fit 1,000 DVDs. They fit 1,000 DVDs, and I had like 5 of them because I have that much wrestling footage.
And at the time, you contained it to that room. Like, I was good with that. Like, we kind of had a regular house, not like, I'm sure you probably talked about the theater room, and we have like a fun house now. But we had like a kind of like a Pier 1.
We had a very regular
staged, regular house, coffee tables. And no kid house.
Yeah.
It was contained to that room. That
my stuff never came out and never infected the rest of the house. But now the house has exploded.
That happened over time.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But so that was the beginning of the room. It was upstairs. It is what now is the 5-year-old's room.
Yeah. But now, back then, without kids, how much time did you spend in that room? I can't remember. Like, what would you just at night go and hang out? Would you just stay? I don't remember.
I don't think so, because you know what? The carpeting was disgusting.
There was the only room we did not change a carpet.
We didn't change the carpet when we bought the house. It was an old brown shaggy rug.
Yeah, that was
and
gross.
One of our dogs had peed up there numerous times.
Yeah.
And
you liked your stuff.
Yeah, well, you felt gross walking on the carpet, so you didn't want to go in there. So I would go in there to just set it up, and then I would leave it. But then there was a point in time, remember, you probably don't remember this, remember when I built the TNA arena? Remember when TNA action figures came out, NWA TNA, from Toy Biz? I bought the figures, and I set up a ring and a stage and a walkway, and
I don't remember that.
Might have played a few rounds of TNA. All right, so then it just took off. Then it was just on. Then we had this.
I don't remember toys in that room.
No,
it was just wrestling. I don't remember.
There were shelves
stuff.
shelves for LJNs. We were completing a Hasbro collection. We had the ECW wrestlers. We had the Galoobs, and at the time we had TNA figures. Oh, then we started getting Jakks Classic Superstars. That was the first time that I really went after something, and you were a part of that. Remember how we would always go to Toys R Us? No, you do. The
don't
Jack's
remember
Classic
that.
Superstars. We would go to Toys R Us. The whole series would be out. We'd walk out of there with 6 of them. It was like $129.
I don't remember.
You don't remember Classic
I don't remember.
Superstars?
Like, tell me. Which
No, they're
one?
just no. I don't have
I
any.
don't-
I don't have any now. But I had a whole one of
remember.
these tall wooden bookshelves was full, and I had those kitchen risers, like those spice racks.
Oh, I remember the spice.
And they
racks.
were full. That shelf was full of classic. I probably had about 150 classic superstars. And that was the first line that I went after. And then I think He-Man was next. Then I was going crazy for He-Man.
Well, I gave you all of my He-Man.
Yeah, you had like 8 He-Man from your
Well, my sister had
attic.
He-Man. I had She-Ra.
Naturally.
So-
But yeah, you gave me all that. No, you had He-Man too, because you
Yeah,
gave
I
me
mean,
some.
I had Adam.
And that started the He-Man collection, and then I went hard after that. And I had a ton. Like that was a
I don't remember He-Man.
that was a
there.
big obsession. No, there was He-Man down here. It wasn't up there. So then I don't know what happened, but I just we finished the basement.
Because we were going to have Liam.
Right. Okay. So then we were So Liam was coming, and so he was getting one of the rooms up there, and
The bigger spare room.
yeah, and then we needed to do the basement. So we did the basement, and then this, the deal was that I was going to get a room. And that's how this room was born. And then it just went. And I don't remember the exact moment that I said I'm collecting everything. I don't remember how that happened.
either.
But it was very...
Probably going to flea markets. You're big going out to flea markets. You
Yeah.
probably saw a lot of stuff, and then... Because you would bring home
Yeah.
random different stuff. Like, oh, remember this, remember that. So I think that's how it kind of started.
Do you
with flea
remember
markets.
like garbage... lunch boxes were like
Yes.
a hot item in my life.
TV trays.
TV trays were...
TV trays are huge. Color forms
Color
are huge.
forms were huge. Board games were huge.
Board games are huge. Yeah.
And there was a time when a lunchbox, was like that was a go-to gift.
Yeah.
So when did you start? Do you remember when you started buying into all this and getting excited and buying me stuff? Because we have videos of Christmases that I got like a couple of shirts,
Sweater.
and a sweater, and like a pair of like lounge pants. Like
When
the
you
most,
were into ties, shirts.
yeah, tie. Like that was the most boring Christmases of all time, and they were pre-Liam, so you were still buying
Well,
me.
you were big into clothes.
Yeah, but you were still
like-
buying me crap like before Liam came along.
But you liked that though, because you wanted
Then,
that.
but
Yeah,
we
then.
never had the idea because you never had an eBay account. You didn't
No.
know anything
Yeah, I
about
didn't do
eBay.
PayPal,
You
yeah.
didn't have PayPal. You didn't even know how to do this stuff.
I had a coworker. I remember the first Christmas. I don't remember before Liam or after. I don't remember. Maybe before Liam, when it started to take off. Dallas was huge, and then
Well, Dallas was huge for me.
that's when I started buying stuff.
So
that
the
was
first
like
stuff you bought me was Dallas stuff.
the Christmas kind of shifted. I had a coworker at work. I saw the stuff on the watch list, and I bought a whole bunch of Dallas stuff and Jason Voorhees. Oh, off of
No,
Amazon.
not yet.
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
think-
that same Christmas I did Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees on Amazon.
I thought you did lunch boxes and color
No.
forms first, and I don't remember you getting into Jason Voorhees.
That was the same year I did Dallas stuff for you, because that was Amazon. I found Amazon had a ton of stuff.
Yeah, so so then there was a period when Christmas switched and my birthday switched,
Yeah.
and then it was all. And since then, I'd say for at least 7 years, because Liam's 9,
Yeah.
so I'd say for at least 8 years, Christmases and birthdays were all retro stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't buy me.
Regular, like
anything.
like a pants or a shirt
No.
or shorts.
No, my Christmases are all straight up from the 80s. And so you've bought into it now. Now you spend
It does get harder now because you do have so much stuff. So that's the hard part now. Like,
yeah, but you spend a heck of a lot of time,
Yeah.
a heck of a lot more time thinking about my presents than I do about yours.
yes, I know that. It's become kind of a little bit of a obsession for me because I kind of want to, I don't know, find the fun stuff. I kind of want to get like the wow. I want to get you like excited and like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, what was the last thing?
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, like the Freddy Krueger or the Jason mask.
The
Yeah, that
part
was-
1 or the
that was
part
pretty
2.
cool.
The rubber
Yeah.
the rubber part 2 mask. Yep.
And what else? Oh, like the dolls. And some of the stuff that I've bought for you, you haven't seen.
These guys?
That you haven't seen. Like, you're kind of really shocked. Like, oh, I didn't know this existed.
Oh, yeah. Stuff that you've bought from me
and
that I
plan.
had no idea existed.
Like, I actually, like, plan. Like, on my eBay watch list, I still have leftover stuff from your birthday that I have saved that I think I'm going to start picking them off and just getting it for Christmas. But sometimes I do worry because I know fans send you things. So
friends. We call them friends.
Friends, sorry.
Thank you.
Friends, fans.
No, friends.
Friends. That I worry that you guys send stuff and I'm always, worried that there'll be like a duplicate or something.
Yeah. That's never happened really, I don't think.
No. Or when you go to flea markets, like I tell you, don't go out, don't buy stuff because there could be like a duplicate.
Yeah, but what's good about this too is that you don't say, all right, give me a list of the G.I. Joes that you need.
Well, I used to do like the Nintendo games.
Yeah, you would give me Nintendo
I would pick
games.
off a list.
But it's fun because I get stuff for Christmas and my birthday.
Like random stuff.
Yeah, that I didn't even know I even wanted.
Like WWF, like cameras.
Yeah, the cameras and the binoculars. And,
yeah.
And
I'm trying to think. Some other stuff.
There's been a lot of stuff that you've got that I just didn't even... And then now you're starting to buy like emotional stuff. Like you bought like you bought the Leave It to Beaver drawing of the
print
house.
And the Dallas print.
Yeah, and like the
house.
South Forks. She found some artist on eBay that did a pencil drawing of the Leave It to Beaver house, and then like a couple years later, I got a pencil drawing of South Fork, and then you found somebody that painted my old childhood home, and I got that in a frame for Christmas.
I put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah. So, and then I just say, well, what do you want?
And I give them a list.
And you give me an Amazon list, and I just pick it off one after the next, and sometimes I don't even wrap your stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't have like hardcore interest.
Oh yeah.
Like
all right. So you've bought into.
I bought into it.
My life, but you don't have the same collecting gene.
No.
Why not?
I like to be a minimalist. Like I just like. I like our upstairs now, but sometimes I feel like down here can be like a little overwhelming.
There's nothing overwhelming down here.
Sometimes upstairs it can be a little overwhelming. Like some of the shelves, when it's dusting time, is kind of hard to dust around things. But I like it because I've also added my interests upstairs too. It's not all of your stuff. So maybe, who's the guy that you're talking about? Hungarian?
Yeah, Hungarian guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to address that.
Maybe combine interests so she doesn't feel so isolated. So I do have some interests that we've put things together upstairs. So a little bit of yours, a little bit of mine upstairs. So it's not all...
A lot of mine, a little bit of yours. You have
but
a wall.
I feel fun. Like the kitchen is kind of mine. I have all my fun stuff, the things that are fun to me. And I have a couple of walls in the theater room. I'm getting another wall of stuff that I can put up.
I remember one day...
well, I came up with the idea.
Well, you came up with the idea because I came home from a former co-host's house that is a every single room is a fun collection room, and I was like, so and so gets to have collections all over the house, and then we stopped doing the show, and then as a consolation gift for me, you were like, would you like to have a theater room too? And I was like,
I don't think it went like that.
I think it went like that.
I don't think so.
And then I was like, what?
No. I think because we had kids, and it's like,
but we had
becomes a kid house. So
it was the most.
Why does it have to be so like pure one?
Right, our
so
theater.
Perfect. Let's make it kind of fun. We're always here.
Yeah.
Make it fun. Put things that we like here.
Our theater room. And I've always just called it a theater room.
Well, we're redoing the kitchen, so we're redoing
yeah, we were redoing the
all
whole
rooms.
house.
Yeah.
Like we got a brand new kitchen, and then we thought about this room that was a living room, and it was boring. I mean, it was a couch and a love seat and
and no TV.
Like
in
this
there.
massive, giant,
like a
heavy coffee table. There was no TV,
yeah.
And then we came up with the idea of turning it into a theater room. And we hung the TV on the wall, and then the walls were like totally open to whatever we wanted. And
I came up with the idea.
Yes, you did.
The movie posters.
We put up movie posters, and then that switched. And now the main wall that people of all ages, all religious affiliation, when they walk into our house, the main wall that they see is a Friday the 13th wall with posters and photos of me with Friday the 13th actors. Like, I'm the only house that has photos of themselves all over the house. It's just me and celebrities and autographs and
Which,
stuff.
when the kids' friends come over, it's a little strange. A couple of kids get a little freaked out.
Yeah, they don't understand what the heck's going on.
One
in our
kid wouldn't
house.
walk through our garage door because the Freddy's or the Jason stuff on the refrigerator. She got freaked out and had to go through the back door.
Yeah.
So, but we have other fun stuff. It's just you have the
I have that, but
Friday
then
wall. We have like fun stuff, things you know.
You have a wall of your favorite movies.
Yeah.
Posters. We got like 11 by 17
and you got me some fun stuff
posters.
for Christmas, like Walking Dead stuff.
Yep.
Crow, Labyrinth.
Yeah, the Crow.
some fun
So
stuff.
we've brought. So finally, I've been allowed to bring action figures upstairs. So we have shelves on the wall now that have entire NECA collections. They've got your Crow figures. You were into the Walking Dead, so I bought you a bunch of Walking Dead stuff. There's some Pops up there. Now we have a Seinfeld section of Funko Pops, and we have a Harry Potter section of toys and stuff. And so then the theater room spread into the kitchen. Not horribly.
Well, the kitchen's more my stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like stuff in the kitchen. But then you go into our second living room, and now that's being overtaken by that's
Fun
like
stuff.
that's the Harry Potter room, and now like all of our wrestling meet and greet photos are going to go in there, and like that's our house now.
Yeah. But it's fun because it's nice. It's memories, and we spend a lot of time at home.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of be with the things that you like.
Yeah. So that's the tip for Hungarian Guy. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how long you've been in this relationship deal, but you know you got like one life. If you're going to be in your home or your apartment or wherever you're living, trust me, the fancy nice furniture with the stiff stuffy look, it gets old. And I was the king of that.
Yeah, Pier 1 all the way, major credit card. You were in that store like every other day, more than me. You were the house decorator.
Yeah, I'm the designer,
you're
the interior designer of this home. And at one point, I had the Pier 1 gold card.
Yeah.
Like I was this, and my house was like out of a
we had
magazine.
like wheat sticks out of like big
it was ridiculous.
urns.
And it looked lovely. But then like you get a little older and you're like, eh. And then honestly, going to, the former co-host's house, like it was so comfortable and so warm. And I was like, wow, like you get to live in this. Like you get to walk up to your bedroom and there's movie posters just hanging on the wall up to your bedroom. Like, this is amazing. And now, like, I don't think I could go back to living. Could you go back to living in a stuffy house?
I mean, I like our pictures, the Comic-Cons. Like, Liam is in a lot of pictures. Finley is in pictures now. So it's kind of nice to look at that stuff. I mean, the kids are into it. And, like, Liam loves Harry Potter. So we've done a ton of Harry Potter stuff for him.
Yeah.
And Star Wars, Mandalorian. So
that's the advice, right? That's the advice for Hungarian Guy, and more his partner there. It blended in a little bit. If you want to have some proper stuff, go ahead and have that. But just make yourselves comfortable. Like, we're super comfortable in our house. We got, when we buy couches now, they have to be massively comfortable couches that you can like, push an ottoman up to and then make it like an 8-seat couch. There's no more like, trust me, we don't have end tables anymore.
Yeah,
We don't have coffee tables. Like
a lot of that changed when we had kids because
you couldn't, but now they're older. We could have gone back to that if we wanted, but every TV in the house has at least 2 video game consoles hooked up to it. It's just madness here. But yeah, it's super comfortable. Why wouldn't you let me buy my 80s childhood home?
We can barely manage this house. The upkeep of a house and 2 kids, that would be impossible.
Because they know that the ultimate fantasy is to have an 80s house. And I know that you would never, ever, because I brought that. I was like, can we just have one room that's just a flashback to the 80s? We got the console TV, we got the VCR.
I gotta stop it there.
Yeah.
And our house is like an average house. It's not huge by any means. So there's no way you can have...
They think I live in a castle. They think I have a
castle.
mansion.
It's not
Let's
a
keep
mansion.
that going.
It's not a mansion. So you really can't recreate a full 80s room. And I gotta draw the line I'm not going to put paneling upstairs.
Oh, no, I mean, I wanted
this
to,
is
like...
your space. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, but I'm done. Like, this is it. I've got no more room.
It can't creep up that much upstairs. We can't do that.
I think that if my childhood home comes up for sale once again, and we're over this, massive inflation real estate market, that's only like $129,000 house. It's not...
That lady seems pretty settled in that house
Well,
because we drive by a lot.
We do drive by a lot.
We drive by a lot.
I don't think she's settled. There's grass growing up in the driveway.
It's not.
Yes, there is.
Fence.
No,
it looks
no, that's
great.
my grandmother's house. I'm talking West Cannon.
Okay, that one.
No,
okay.
West Cannon is...
You drive by both of them a lot.
Well, yeah, but if that house goes up for sale, I'm grabbing it. It's only it's like $129,000 house in a normal market. I think I can swing 2 mortgages, and then I want an 80s house. All right. So what's your parting words for Hungarian guy's former girlfriend?
I don't know. I think just blend your interests together, include what she likes, whatever she likes, and kind of just put it together.
Yeah,
do a little bit at a time. Don't do something overwhelming like this because it took time.
Yeah.
It took time for our house to evolve over time.
Yeah,
so it will take time, but I think take her interests and see what she likes and kind of start a little bit at a time. Because this is like 20 years. 21 years? 22?
Yeah, about that.
I've been a long time. I can't remember.
All right, so that's the update. That's the very... Wow, this table is horrible.
Yeah.
Upstate Johnny told me that he can't watch the videos with this shaky table.
And I was
warned that's why I said don't shake the table because
I hope I haven't.
There's people that can't handle that. So this was a very special TN80sR half-hour power hour because...
We didn't tell the DVD story. That was actually a funny story.
What's the DVD story? Of the dog peeing on the DVD?
No, the DVDs when I bought the first DVD player.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was a funny story.
Yeah, well, this was way back in the apartment.
Yeah.
And I wanted a DVD player. And it wasn't like DVD players were like this ridiculously unknown idea. This was like 2000. Like 1999.
Then why didn't we have one then?
Because you didn't feel them necessary. You didn't think that a DVD player and movies...
We had so many tapes.
And movies for entertainment was necessary. And then I wanted one, and you got me one for my birthday.
And then I jumped on the bandwagon.
Then you jumped on the bandwagon with DVDs, and then we are not stream. Well, you're a streamer. You're absolutely a streamer.
It was hard to break with the cable. I thought I couldn't handle it, but now I'm obsessed with streaming.
And I'm still not a streamer. I don't know what's on TV. I've told you before. I have no idea.
Well, no, I don't watch TV. I watch streamers like Netflix.
You watch British TV.
Yes.
Yeah, you watch a lot of British TV.
I don't watch regular.
You watch
American
TV. What's that show called?
What am I interested in?
No, that big show that you watch.
Which one?
The big one. The one that's that you just finished watching. The one you have the posters of. The big show. With all the people.
I'm clueless.
Outlander.
Okay.
Outlander, that's your big show. Isn't that your big thing?
I have many big shows, yeah.
What are your big shows?
Well, do I have enough time?
You have time. Outlander.
Outlander, Luther.
Yeah.
The Last Kingdom.
Right. Yeah, good stuff.
Yes, it is.
And you're still a Walking Dead fan.
Yes, Walking Dead. Yes, I won't give that up for some reason. It's only like American show I watch.
Yeah, so a lot of the posters and the things around the house are of Outlander and Luther. And then
a lot of British, international subtitles. My favorite.
So, that's all good. Right.
Which we don't watch TV together anymore.
No, we don't. Because you won't watch Magnum PI.
Yeah, nope.
Which is outstanding.
Well, once the children
I have to connect with a viewer, a friend. Upstate Johnny and I have watched Magnum PI together like a couple and talked about it over text back and forth because I have nobody else to watch it with.
See, folks out there who have kids will understand this. Your TV time is so limited. So now I won't watch garbage, like crappy
garbage
American.
TV.
No. Your stuff is not garbage. But like crappy, like reality shows. I won't watch regular TV. I'll watch what I'm interested in because I don't have that much time to watch stuff because children don't go to bed and they're waking up. Well, so we don't watch anything together really anymore.
If the people would like to hear more about your
That's fine.
Closed caption. You're such a fan of British TV that you have to watch it closed caption.
There's too many accents.
Because you can't understand what people are saying.
When I watch things in Welsh, it's very difficult. I need closed caption.
Magnum PI A-Team, no need for closed captioning. No. Anyway, that's a very special episode.
This is fun.
Thank you. That's a very special episode of TN80sR Half Hour Power Hour. 5 of you asked the question, what's it like? You know, what does my wife think of the collection, of the obsession? And now you know. And so Hungarian guy, watch this episode 2 or 3 times on high definition and let your girlfriend there understand what it's all about. That's that, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions for her, go ahead and send them on the email, tn80rquestions@gmail.com. I'll make sure to pass them on. Maybe she'll come down here, have a few shots, and answer the questions. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us. Good night now.